We have 4 sound bites. President Obama outside the White House, even the South Lawn, before getting on a helicopter heading over to Andrews Air Force Base to go out to California. We have put together a montage of the opening remarks that the teleprompter told him to say.
People are rightly outraged about these particular bonuses. But just as outrageous is the culture that these bonuses are a symptom of, that have existed for far too long. A situation where excess greed, excess compensation, excess risk-taking have all made us vulnerable and left us holding the bag.
Stop the tape. Stop the tape. The teleprompter is running a little slow. As you know, the teleprompter is making the president sound a little hesitant here. He wants to go a little faster than the teleprompter is allowing him to.
Wall Street and the marketplace don't think that we can return to business as usual.
Stop the tape. Stop the tape. Did you hear that? I hope that Wall Street and the marketplace don't think we can return to business as usual. As you continue to listen to these sound bites, the meaning of that is going to become clear. He is trying to make everybody believe business as usual is excess, is criminal activity, is excessive compensation, all of these things, bonuses and so forth. That's what we're not doing. We are going to destroy capitalism is how you translate this. If Wall Street thinks we're going back to capitalism, they've got another thing coming.
You know, the fact that these guys are looking for bonuses, having run down AIG, begs the question of why were they making that much beforehand when nobody was criticizing them? Everybody thought they knew what they were doing.
The people we are talking about here, Mr. Teleprompter, are the people who were asked to stay on to try to fix this. These are the people who everybody says, according, not Gottner, not you, these are the people who can unwind all the tangled webs that exist in the play. This is outrageous. This is the President of the United States being told by his teleprompter to dump totally and falsely and erroneously and misleadingly on the entire U.S. capitalist system here. That's what you need to be hearing. That's why I said they love this at the first of the program today. This is not a distraction. This is ideal. While you're getting all revved up about $165 million in bonuses, they get to dump all over capitalism. They get to dump all over the principles of this country's founding, and they get to set themselves up as the saviors. In the next bite, the teleprompter tells the president that the buck stops with him.
Well, look, rather than go into the details of finding it out, ultimately I'm responsible. I'm the president of the United States.
Big whoop.
We've got a big mess that we're having to clean up. Nobody here drafted those contracts. Nobody here was responsible for supervising AIG and allowing themselves to put the economy at risk by some of the outrageous behavior that they were engaged in. We are responsible, though. The buck stops with me. And my goal is to make sure that we never put ourselves in this kind of position again.
Translate this for you. This is Panic City. This is the president and his teleprompter trying to cover the fact and distort the fact that they knew about all this. They knew about this. And Obama, by the way, voted for this. And he acts like he gets to exempt himself from it. Nobody here drafted those contracts? Of course not. It's a private sector concern, for crying out loud. Of course they wouldn't draft the contracts. Nobody here was responsible for supervising AIG. The Treasury Secretary was. Read the stupid TARP legislation. Am I the only one who knows this? The Treasury Secretary, be it Paulson or Geithner, has sole authority over the money, how it's used. There was no accountability in the TARP legislation. There were no strings. It's up to the Treasury Secretary, which means it's up to the executive branch, and that happens to be you and your teleprompter, sir. Good grief, folks. Nobody was responsible for supervising AIG. The hell you weren't. You own the company. You got your clowns and your court jesters out there saying you own 79 or 80% of it. In the next soundbite, the teleprompter tells Obama he likes outrage. He just wants it to. This, if anything should cement in your mind that I am a prescient, brilliant, serious thinker of what I said in the first segment of the first hour of this program, this next bite.
I don't want to quell anger. I think people are right to be angry. I'm angry. What I want us to do, though, is channel our anger in a constructive way. It's very important to remind ourselves that there are a whole bunch of folks now who are feigning outrage about these bonuses that a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago said, well, we should never meddle in these compensation plans. These are the best and the brightest. They know what they're doing. That's part of the market. And now suddenly they're outraged.
I'm close to being sputtering outraged here. Because there's two parts to this soundbite. The first part, I don't want to quell anger. I think people are right to be. That's exactly right. He wants you mad. And he said, I want to channel the anger. I use the same way. He wants to channel your anger at capitalism. He wants to channel your anger at CEOs and executives. He wants you mad. You're falling for it. Hook, line, and sinker. He wants you ticked off. Exactly as I said in the opening segment. Snerdley came in and said, how long is this going to go? As long as they can use it to pound another nail in the coffin of capitalism. That's how long they'll go. He wants you mad, and you're the perfect lemming. Then he says, we have to remind ourselves a whole bunch of folks now who are feigning outrage about these bonuses that a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago said, well, we should never meddle in these compensation plans. These are the best and the brightest. They know what they're doing. What in the hell? That is unreal. 2 to 3 years ago, people who are now feigning outrage, who is he talking about? He's trying to dump on Republicans here, as though Republicans are feigning outrage, while at the same time it was the Republicans 3 years ago opposing the federal government getting involved in compensation to private sector. Those two are non sequiturs. It's standard operating procedure of capitalism. The federal government's got not a damn thing to do with private sector compensation. Now, when the federal government gives money to a private sector concern, all bets are off. But until that time, they've got no business being there. And Obama wants to be in there, and this is giving him the opportunity to be in there. And now he gets to dump all over Bush and all over the Republicans when the best and the brightest that are screwing things up royally are Barack Obama and his academic egghead buds from the Ivy League throughout his administration. Back in a moment. This is why I said all the way back on January 16th that I hope the president fails. He is singularly targeted and focused on destroying American capitalism, and I don't want that to succeed. I want that to fail big time. We have one more soundbite from the president's little press conference this afternoon in the South Lawn of the White House. A teleprompter in this bite told President Obama to compare Timothy Geithner to Alexander Hamilton.
I have complete confidence in Tim Geithner and my entire economic team. Understand, as I said before, Tim Geithner didn't draft these contracts with AIG. There has never been a Secretary of the Treasury, except maybe Alexander Hamilton right after the Revolutionary War, who's had to deal with the multiplicity of issues that Secretary Geithner's having to deal with all at the same time. And, he is doing so with intelligence and diligence. Nobody's working harder than this guy.
Well, he's not getting anything done. He's a tax cheat, and he's not getting anything done except further ruination.